Good morning. My name is Sean Prizio, and today we are going to be learning more about the prompt hierarchy and how to effectively use prompts to support our clients. First, I wanted to give a brief background on myself. I'm a graduate student in my final semester of the Applied Behavior Analysis program at Ball State University. I'm also an RBT currently working within an elementary school as well as providing in-home ABA services to multiple clients. The age range of clients in my current caseload is 5 to 16 years old, and I find that no matter the age of the client, utilizing the prompt hierarchy is a skill that could be used daily to support each client. Prompting is a general term which is used as a teaching method to assist clients in learning new skills or behaviors. A common example of prompting is a verbal instruction placed by anyone assisting in the client's learning. When a teacher instructs their students to take out their pencils, they are engaging in a verbal prompt, which hopefully assists in creating a behavioral response from the students. The expected behavioral response to this verbal prompt example would be the students following the teacher's instructions and taking out their pencils. As simple as this example sounds, we often find that just one prompt may not be enough for the client to engage in the correct behavioral response, especially when working with clients diagnosed with autism. This is when the prompts hierarchy comes into play, and I have a simple visual to walk us through the different prompts you will encounter and utilize to support our clients. We will go in order of least invasive prompts, starting at the top of the visual prompts and working our way down to full physical prompts. Starting with the visual prompts, this is the least invasive prompt and closest prompt to the client responding independently and without use of any prompting. At this prompt level, a visual cue is used to assist in the client completing a task or engaging in a behavior. Often, this visual cue will act as a discriminative stimulus at this prompt level and aid the client in their current task. An example of a visual prompt would be a visual schedule accessible to the client, which allows them to see what activity comes next in their day. Should a visual prompt not effectively aid the client in completing a task, a verbal prompt will be utilized next. Verbal prompts are spoken instructions aimed to assist the client in completing a task or any type of learning. Say you're running a discrete trial training with a client and are teaching colors. Use of a verbal prompt in this scenario will be instructing the client, where is red? It is important that at this prompt level, the clinician remembers to only use a verbal prompt and avoids gesturing. That leads us to the next prompt in the hierarchy, gestural prompts. Gestural prompting, which is used when verbal prompts alone are not effective, are most effective when used in combination with verbal prompts and involve the clinician pointing or gesturing towards the correct response. This would look like the clinician pointing at the response, indicating red while also saying, where is red? The next prompt within the hierarchy is modeling, which may be utilized for teaching many new skills to clients. Modeling involves the clinician showing the client how to complete a task by demonstrating the correct behavioral responses. Especially when teaching a new skill, it is beneficial for the client to see how to correctly engage in the desired response. If a client is learning how to tie their shoes and not successful after verbal or gestural prompts, they may need the behavior to be modeled for them. In this example, the clinician should model the behavior of tying their shoe for their client to watch and follow along. The next prompt we will discuss is the partial physical prompt, which involves lightly physically assisting the client to engage in a correct response. Going back to the DDT example of learning colors, a partial physical prompt may look like the clinician touching the client's elbow to gently guide them towards the correct response. For this example, the clinician would guide the client's hand in the direction of the color red. Should the learner still have trouble engaging in the desired behavior, the clinician will utilize a full physical prompt. A full physical prompt is the last prompt in the hierarchy and requires the most assistance to the client. A full physical prompt in this example would be utilizing a hand-over-hand procedure to gently guide the client's hand to the correct response indicating red. This prompt should be utilized if the client has not been successful in engaging in the correct response after each previous prompt in the hierarchy. The order in which we reviewed the prompt hierarchy is known as least to most prompting and starts out with the least invasive prompts. Gradually, the prompts become more invasive and lead further away from the client independently engaging in the response. Going in the reverse order from full physical to visual prompts is known as most to least prompting. This procedure is also known as errorless prompting and ensures that the client will engage in the correct response. In this order, the clinician would start with a full physical prompt and aid the client towards the correct response. Both least to most and most to least are utilized within applied behavior analysis, and effectiveness for each vary based upon individual clients. A study conducted by Libby and colleagues in 2008 explored the benefits and drawbacks of both prompting procedures. Results of this study indicated that participants in the study learned quicker when using least to most prompting. They also state that most to least prompting reduced errors in correct responses, but may have slowed down learning for the participants. To conclude, the prompt hierarchy is something that will be utilized daily if you are working within the field of ABA. The overall goal of prompting is for the learner to eventually become independent in the correct response without the use of prompts. The hierarchy we discussed today is a tool used to assist the learner in reaching their goals of independently providing the correct responses. Thank you.